there's a danger of trying to say that it's always the same sort of ceremony. What we're seeing, if you like, is more like a basic form of ritual which you can use in all sorts of different circumstances. So think of the way in which the Christian communion, the Eucharist, as a basic service can be adopted for marriages, for funerals, for celebrating victories, for all sorts of different purposes. And that's sort of what we're seeing here. It's a basic ritual.
There were a lot of ceremonies happening, and the big question is who was running them. If you go to classical writers, people like Tacitus, you come across references to the Druids.
Druids are a problematical bunch of people.
Most of the sort of Druidic stuff you see in the newspapers at Stonehenge and places like that is based on a recreation of Druidry in the 19th century. And I think this idea of priests with long beards and flowing white robes intoning bardic stuff is fine if it makes people feel good, but I don't think it's got much reality in archaeology.
All we know about the Druids is what's written down by Romans. But from these Roman writings, we can build up a picture of Druids as being a priestly caste. They're probably teachers, they're probably involved with dealing out justice, they're certainly involved with religious ceremonies and sacrifice.
I suspect there may well have been a priestly caste, but that priestly caste would have been very different from one part of the country to another. And not necessarily chaps in flowing robes with golden sickles, but equally likely you'd have had chaps with no robes at all, in fact no clothes at all, probably painted blue and probably stoned out of their heads on magic mushrooms or whatever was knocking around at the time. The point is that there was no one Iron Age religion. There was a whole host of Iron Age religions. And we mustn't oversimplify it because we impoverish the ancient way of life.
And there's some indication that the Iron Age priests at Fiskerton were engaged in more sinister rituals.
We have some human bones, which includes this piece of skull. Now, what's nice about this one, as you can see, it's from the back of the head, and it has a cut mark. Our forensic people said that's the sort of thing you'd get from a machete. So we're almost certainly looking at a sword cut, which would have struck a glancing blow to the head. Now, just who this person is, whether he goes with this particular leg bone, we're not really certain. But these date to the same period as the artefacts that have been found on the causeway.
Is this wound the evidence of a violent death? Was this person a human sacrifice? So could the person found at Fiskerton have been such a victim? Mike believes it would have been the ultimate offering to the supernatural.
You have to imagine the spectacle, possibly at night time, with the surface of the water shimmering in the moonlight. Probably hundreds, if not thousands of people gathering for a particular event. And if one of their gifts is a live human being, it would have been a truly awesome, dramatic and terrible moment.